And we're live. We live.
Yeah.
My name Courtney. I'm a youth ambassador for Let's Drive Baltimore, as well as a facilitator for Virtual Mondays. And today's topic is racial profiling. Anybody else want to introduce us? Everybody introduce themselves. I'm gonna start by calling Angelina.
Hello, my name is Angela Wilson. I'm a youth ambassador for Let's Ride Baltimore. Devin, would you like that?
Hi, my name is Devin Jones, and I'm a youth ambassador for Let's Start Baltimore. Kari?
My name is Kari. I'm a youth ambassador for Let's Drive Baltimore. I'm gonna pass it to Demontes.
Hi, my name is Demontes. I'm a youth ambassador for Let's Drive Baltimore, and I'm going to call on Logan.
My name Logan. I'm a youth ambassador for Let's Drive Baltimore. I'll pass it to Pat.
My name Perry. I'm a youth ambassador for Let's Drive Baltimore. Oh, I give it to Devin.
She already went, and now we gotta listen to Martin Luther King's speech.
Pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. Five score years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream. My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day, down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right now in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. Every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I go back to the song with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children be able to sing with new meaning, my country tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when we come, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty. We are free at
I need host, please. First question is, how do you feel about the speech? What did you like about the speech?
I feel like the speech can be applied nowadays, and I like how everybody in the audience at that time was pretty much like agreeing with him. They were all clapping, they were all like celebrating. They all wanted to they all believed in what he was saying. I'm gonna pass it to Devin.
I feel as though he passed on a legacy, and he also made a difference. Angelia.
I feel like it's really sad. Like it's been 58 years since this speech happened, and what he's saying right now still is relevant. Like still goes for today because how we're being treated, and it's really sad that we are not able to see his dream actually in action, like actually happening. Demontes.
It I feel as though that was powerful and motivational because sometimes like some people do it's not everybody who like racial profile us sometimes. Like sometimes it's some good people who don't judge us by our skin color. So like it's still more of a dream that still have to come true and I call on Logan.
Say it again, Demonte. What you said?
The question was, how do you feel about Martin Luther King's speech?
How I feel about the speech. I feel like it's gonna be here for a minute, like for a go, like for as long as we living. To be honest, it impacted the world and it impacted today also. But I feel like ain't nothing really changed. Ain't nothing really like on the way where it impacted and stopped the racism and all that. But it has made a change a little bit. But yeah, I want to pass it on to Perry.
Yeah, I agree with Kari and Lo, and I feel like the speech was emotional. And I'm the last person calling.
Next question is, do you believe that Black people are still bound by chains of slavery? Why? If so, yes.
I feel like they are. And an example you can like that's like every day and you can just see it happening every day is like something as simple as like applying for a job. If like your average person of color put their like information in like in their resume, or they're like filling out a form or whatever, sometimes it's possible that whoever is hiring might not actually hire that person just because of their name. It might like sound like somebody of a person of a color, so they just might not hire that person. And I feel like that's like a real life example of that. I'm gonna pass it to
Okay, go.
Logan.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead. Lo.
I mean, you can go if you want. It's cool.
All right. Yeah, I agree with Kari. Like another example is police brutality, for sure. And go ahead, Lo. You can go.
I agree with Perry. Definitely police brutality. I'm passing it to whoever didn't go.
I'll go. I agree with everybody that just went. Yes, because I'm gonna add on to why I say that is because like when we are being brutalized, sometimes we don't get our response that we supposed to get. Like the people who do the bad stuff, they don't get a punishment. Angela.
I'm gonna say sorta because I feel like it's just like little details what they used to do back then versus what they do now, like how we toss around the N word like it's nothing, and how human trade is probably still going on somewhere where people are being sold off to other people for whoever knows. But yeah, just like I don't even want to say little stuff because big that's big stuff that happens, but it's just not, I feel like it's not as bad as before. Devin?
I say yes because, like Cardi said, we might not get a job because of the name that we have or the color of our skin, and some people like to call us names, and you also have to remind them that we're not in that time point anymore.
That's everybody. Next question is give one example of what can be done to give Black families equal opportunities.
In my opinion, I feel like the answer just should be as simple as treating them as any other person because they are any other person, and just treating them equally. We're no different than any other person, and no other person is different from us. We're all the same on the inside, and I feel like that's what matters. I'm passing
Yeah.
it to Angelia.
Um, I honestly feel like we should we should keep relying on our voices because I know it probably hasn't been going as like quickly, or the problem hasn't been solved as quickly as we think it will be solved with our voices. But if we get if we get violent, if we're like oh I'm tired of them, or like this is the only way to get through to them, they're just going to see us as more violent than they already think that we are, and things are only going to get worse. So if I feel like the only thing we actually have to do is, I don't know, get more people to speak up, get people to speak louder, get people to be able to get things through people's heads. So maybe that there's something that, like a switch that can be like, wait, this isn't right, or like, I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. Montez, if you want to know.
I agree with everybody, but give me 1 second because I just hit my response.
I'll go while you doing that. I feel like a speech would be helpful, like telling somebody that we all bleed the same and skin color don't matter. Yeah, DeMonte, you can go.
All right, I agree with him, but this time, like, if we do have another speech or something, let it really mean something and show them that we are all the same. That's what I gotta say, Logan.
See, give us a chance. Realize that not every black person is here to harm. Or like every black person do something wrong. I mean, we all do wrong stuff, but I mean, like it be minor. We human. It'd be like how every other race do. Like, I just say give us a chance.
Agree.
That
Yes,
was the
sir.
last question for it. Yeah.
All right, well, I'm gonna go. I personally think just speaking out loud isn't really, I don't know, I don't think it's enough because for years in general, we've been doing this for years, talking. I feel like we need to find a creative way to really like get people to understand and be considerate of how we feel. Not saying we have to do it by violence, but we have to try to do it a different way because I don't feel like we're being heard enough. But the next question is have you ever experienced or know someone who has experienced racial profiling?
Nope.
I have,
I don't know. Only old times, old times and books for real. Go ahead, Car.
no, yeah, I agree with what you said. I was just gonna say, I haven't been affected by it personally, but I know that a lot of people in my community, and like how Perry said, a lot of older people probably experience it more. And I'm not saying it can't happen ever. It just hasn't happened to me, but that's just my take on it. I'm gonna pass it to Montez.
No, it haven't. I'm happy to meet and it haven't happened to no one that I know of personally, but that's all I gotta say, Logan.
No, it hasn't happened to me. I'll pass it on whoever they can go.
Okay, so I do know someone. My mom basically, um, at her job, it's a lot of rude people there. Like she'll try to be nice, and then basically they just give her like a mean look, or they'll look at her the wrong way. Julia.
Sorry, you said my name? Okay. I want to say it it definitely happened to my friends, and I want to say one or two of my family members that it happened to. Um, Sorry, yeah, that's all I have for right now. I had something, but I lost it. Courtney, would you like to go?
I never experienced anyone in this situation or in the position to like, and I never been in that situation. But I may have seen or witnessed people getting racial profiling, like in stores or like just unnecessary things, and just be like, why is that? Why is this? And you question yourself, and it don't be necessary. But you know why it happened. It's because of the color, but you don't want to say nothing. Some people be scared to speak up when it's happening to them as well. But I'm gonna call on Lord.
I already went.
All right, well, I think that's everybody. The next question is, even if it's like being in a store and you're being followed for no reason, or the store person treated you like, well, the owner of the store treated you like you couldn't afford what you wanted to purchase, what would you do in that position?
Personally, me, I don't care what they think, so I wouldn't need to do nothing, to be honest. But go ahead, James, since you just joined back.
I'm just gonna show them that if I can afford it, I'll just show them that I can afford it, and then that's just gonna make them feel bad for what they did or said. I'll send it on to Angelina.
Personally, I've never been followed. I've always went somewhere with one of my older siblings or an adult that I know. But yeah, I got like you would get you'll get a couple of stares even like at the store, even if it's not the cash register. And sometimes it will even they'll make it seem like you're like stealing from the store. Like any bad situation, or like not even you am like broke, it could literally be any like I don't know. There's yeah, but you do get a couple of stares. Or I did. I get a couple of stares because people always think I'm broke when I go to a store.
Not even that. I feel like in that situation, what I would do is, I mean, like James said, I agree, because at the end of the day, it's gonna make them feel bad because they look bad. You ain't do nothing. You did what you were supposed to do. You went in the store. You went to get something from the store. It's gonna make them lose their money for judging one. I wouldn't buy enough from the store, but it's gonna make them want to lose their money for judging. Like they're not gonna have a lot of money for racial profiling because you want to buy something from their store and they don't think you could afford judging a book by its cover. Anybody else can go. Devin.
No, but one time me and my cousin was going to the store and we just had bought something, and basically she told me like to stay at the front because they might think that I'm stealing or whatnot. So, yeah. Sorry if you didn't go.
Yeah, so I agree with what everybody said so far, especially Courtney. And honestly, if I feel like they're watching me or they feel like I can't pay for something, I would still buy the thing, but I'll just let them know that if they keep doing things like that, they're just gonna end up losing customers. Because that's not real. Like, you don't treat somebody like that, even if you don't, especially if you don't even know that person. I think everybody went so far, but yeah.
I feel like you shouldn't do that. Cause I be thinking like when I go in stores, I be thinking the same thing. Like, what if they think I'm broke if I put something down? And so that's why I never think like that. I pass it whoever didn't go.
I'm gonna go, and it never happened to me, but if it did, and like I would try my best not to let it have a conflict afterwards, because some people take stuff too far, like, and I just want to say sorry to hear that, Angela, and I'm pretty sure everybody else would.
Okay. The next question is, have you ever put your money back in your pocket utilizing the strength of the Black dollar by choosing to not spend your money with a business who do not invest into your community or racial profile? All right.
So
Who you call me? Oh, Car.
So I can't remember the exact company name, but there's a specific one that actually supported a certain politician, and that hasn't actually been supportive of the Black community for some time. And I feel like, so like, to answer the question, I wouldn't. And another point to make is that certain companies use like certain tactics to make sure that the public doesn't know who they support. So that's like another thing to put into perspective. But to answer the question, no, I wouldn't. I'm gonna pass it to James. I pass it to you.
I there's some stores that I might not shop in because, like corner stores, I don't really shop in them that much because I feel as though they don't put their money into the community that they have their store in. Because if you go to them, you spend all your money with them, and they just spending it on their family or the country they came from, when they could be spending it on you and your community. Not saying they have to spend all the money on you, but they could at least put some back into the community that they're sitting there taking space up from, basically. I'll pass it on to
That's
Courtney.
wow. That was very good anyway, but I feel like I don't support businesses. Like some businesses don't like Black people. Like some owners don't like Black African Americans. Like real expensive stores. Not saying names, but real expensive stores don't really like Black African Americans, and that's the stores I really don't shop in anymore because I used to like them, but they don't really like Black African Americans, and I don't shop there because I mean, like, you want our money, but you don't like us. So
Yeah, I agree with Courtney too, because like, why would we help y'all business with our money if y'all don't even like us? For real. Yeah. Devin, you can go if you didn't.
No, I don't know any stores except like Courtney said, like the most expensive ones. Not saying any names, but like the most expensive ones that personally I don't shop at, and my mom doesn't shop at anymore. No, I wouldn't give them my money. Angela?
Well, I agree with Courtney. There was like a lot of like, I want to say like a lot of businesses that I had to stop supporting, a lot of restaurants that I had to stop supporting because um they didn't support they didn't support Black Lives Matter, and they didn't want Black people in their store or on their shops. So of course I had to stop going there. But and there was also an on like sort of like an online store, one of those stores on Instagram where you could like find like really cute stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. And I saw something I really liked, and then I looked on their page and says doesn't like, I don't know if it was like doesn't want Black people buying stuff, or doesn't support Black Lives Matter, or like something just doesn't like, they don't want Black people on their page. They don't want Black people buying stuff from them. And I'm just like, okay. Um, who didn't go? I think everyone went. James, did you go?
Yeah, he the first one that went. The last question is, do you feel free? Do y'all all feel free? Like free to do anything?
I'll go. I don't feel free at times. Like if you go out into the different counties that's here in Maryland, I don't feel free. But then when I'm here in Baltimore, I feel free because it's my city. I grew up in the city. Not saying that I know everything about Baltimore, but I can feel a little free because I know I have some comfort, some people around me. But when I go to different places, I don't know how they're going to react when they see me. So when I go there, I don't feel free. I feel overwhelmed, basically. I'm going to pass it on to Angelina.
I feel free to speech. But unlike James, like I'm not from Baltimore or Maryland. I'm not, and it's just it's just really different. And I don't really, well, even if I do feel free, I feel free to speak my mind and speak what's in my heart. But I feel like if I actually like speak up, I'm just gonna get shut down again. Like and it doesn't matter if I put my voice, because like even my voice is too small to like say anything. We need other like big, like you guys like big people, like recognizable people to like, I don't know. I was going somewhere there, then I lost it, but yeah. Devin.
Like, what do you mean when you say free? Like, do you feel different and like do you feel different in different places where you go, like James feels, or like Justice free?
Like the question means like, do you feel like you're still experiencing certain effects of slavery, or do you feel like you're free and you're like comfortable with where you're at?
Yeah.
DeMonte?
Okay, so in like, okay, nothing ever happened to me like that, but like when I see certain stuff, I know some people who have went through certain occasions and stuff like that. They probably don't. Well, I'm not gonna say probably. They don't feel free because still stuff is still like being racist. Like people still being racist towards our color, and I'm pretty sure everybody else.
I ain't go yet. Yeah, about the last question too. I forgot to say something. Yeah, we all know that some black people may shoplift, but some white people shoplift too. So I don't think we should get profiled for it because we are the same, and some white people do it too. Yeah, that was it.
And about that, most white people, they shoplift, but when they shoplift, they don't get in trouble or get beat down as much as we get when we shoplift and stuff like that.
I agree.
Sorry, Facebook got a question for us. I think that's everybody. Facebook question is, do you think come back as black people? No, that's not the last question, Miss Lisa. The last question is, can you name a good experience you had with Caucasian?
Can you repeat that one more time, please? Oh, and Logan didn't go.
Yeah, I know. Same way you leave your dirty stuff on the table and don't clean it up.
I really don't feel free. I don't feel free because it's some stuff like I'm still limited to do. Like it's some stuff. I'm gonna just type.
I ain't get to go yet.
Okay,
Sorry.
look, I'll type it in the chat, but I'm gonna read it. The last question, well, Facebook actually had a question for us. I don't know, is Facebook question is, do you think we need to come back as Black people? I think they mean come back together as Black people.
Yes, because like with all the killing and stuff that's going on in the city, most of it is Black on Black crime. Some of it is Black on other race crime, but the Black on
Right.
Black crime, at least the Black on Black crime should stop, because we can't come together as a community if I hate this other Black person that's lived down the street from me. We all gotta be able to love each other, care for each other, and be there when everybody needs something.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I got something to say. When we say Black Lives Matter, we are saying that we are not saying that white or blue lives don't matter. We are saying that Black lives matter too. Yeah, like both lives, Black. Well, all races matter. That's what we're saying for real. But we're saying that Black lives also matter because they think their race just matter. Who ain't go?
I'm gonna go. I feel like we do need to come back as a community because at the end of the day, they trying to put us against each other on purpose so that we won't be able to come back as a community and be stronger together. I feel like if we do come back as a community, we will be stronger and have better opportunities of making the community better in any other area as well.
Okay. Yes, I agree with Courtney because, like, say if, like, I'm speaking towards, like, the racism and stuff, and, like, everybody that's in this group chat right here, in the Lausanne group chat, not agreeing with me, like, I'm just going to be, like, separated. Like, I believe that we all should just come together so that our voice or everybody could be heard. Okay.
Can somebody tell me what can you say the question? I was lagging.
The question is in the chat, Kari. But I think that's everybody. The next question we will move on to is, well, Facebook question is, how many of you will be willing to sit down with people of other races? Do you feel other races don't understand you, and that if you talk to each other in an open formal, it will allow you to educate them? Now, I'm going to go first on this one. I mean, in my opinion, I don't feel like it matters what type of race you is. I feel like it's the personality and the vibe you get back. Like
Sure.
everybody is different.
I agree with you, Courtney. I said I agree. I agree with you.
But I feel like everybody is different, and just because you're a certain color don't mean you act like. I mean, it's not just because you're a certain color don't mean you act like you're like, it's like you act like a color. Like if you act like yourself, your specific self. Everybody is different. Everybody's not the same. You have your own personality. So me talking to another race is like me talking to my own race. It's no difference. I treat everybody equal, not separated. So that me sitting down having a conversation, that's cool. Like I would get them to understand my perspective of things. If they're racist, if a racist person, and I sit down and have a conversation with them right now, I will get them to understand my perspective of why they shouldn't be. Or what are they racist for? They don't know us. They're judging a book by its cover. Simple. Now, if you're not, and you're already understanding if you're not racist. There's nothing to understand.
So I agree with you.
You called on me, right? Okay. This question, I would sit down with someone because, like Courtney said, I would sit down with someone that's racist, not a different color person that understands the situation, understands us, because you don't want to sit down with them and treat them on knowledge that they already know. You would sit down with them and they can tell us with our point, why they don't like us, and we could tell them why we don't like them. But I don't have I don't judge anybody, so I feel as though, let me not.
All right.
Angelina.
That race people need to relearn. Race people, they know. It's not they need to relearn. They know right from wrong. They're old enough to know right from wrong. It's not no teaching. It's either you're wrong or you're right. Simple. Next, Angelina.
Like I 100% agree with you, Courtney. Like I 100% agree with you. If you're if you uneducated, you could just say that you're uneducated about the topic. Like, sorry, I don't want to feel like I'm yelling at y'all. Like, if you want to be educated about the topic, you have a social studies, like you have people like
Not even my
just
bad,
like it doesn't
Angel.
even matter. Sorry, it doesn't even matter your race. It just matters if you're uneducated or educated on the thing. Like, but if you don't understand like into the details, like, yes, I will sit down with you and be like, okay, here's the facts. Courtney, you were gonna say
Not even just that. What you say in the chat that some people are born in race families, that's where they have to educate themselves, because they're not going to just come up to a person and say, "Oh, I need to be educated about racism." Nobody's just going to, bring that conversation up because they don't know.
No one's gonna be
If
like,
they know they have to educate themselves, they're old enough and they have been raised in race families. That's where they learn around their surroundings that people aren't how the family say, or
Hey,
go off
Court,
of
I kind of disagree, because that's like a bad habit. Like you can't get over a bad habit that easy, because like if they was born into racism, you can't just tell them, like, it's gonna be hard to get out of that bad habit. It's like a habit. It's like a habit that you can't get out of it. So I disagree, but I do disagree, because like you do need to relearn it, but then they.
I'm not saying that they can't be educated. What I'm saying is you can't force somebody to want to know something that they don't want to know.
Listen, because some white people, they know they racist, and they just racist just because. Some of these white people know they racist. Tell me, who ain't go?
I'm gonna just go since I ain't go yet.
All right, I'm sorry. I just want to jump in for a second. I'm sorry. Y'all doing so good. And I love all of you giving your feelings and your perspective on how you feel about this. This is a touchy topic, and some people are not willing to have this topic because it's uncomfortable for them. So I respect all of your opinions, and I value what you all are saying. And I think that what you guys are doing here today will help someone. But I just want, as your mentor, I just want to just jump in right here while you guys are feeling so much emotion and so much passion, and just say, yes, we are dealing with racism. It still exists today, even though we were supposed to be free since decades ago, but we're still dealing with it, right? We're still being racially profiled. We're still losing people. For instance, the Capitol, how that situation was handled because of the white people. If it was Black people, everybody feel the same way, that it would have happened differently. I get it. But what I do want to say to you as your mentor, and as someone that I hope that you look up to and respect my opinion, not to change your mind about how you feel, but I want to tell you this, that some white people were born, their mothers and their fathers taught them not to like Black people. And what happened is, that's the way they grow up. Just like the values and things that your mom teach you, you grow up doing them things. If you came up going to church, you go to church because, you was taught about the Bible. So they were taught to be racist and not to like Black people. So you have some white people that was taught that from their parents, but they were, now that they're older, they're saying, look, let me sit down and hear what these Black people have to say. Why, how I've made them feel. You have so many white people who, like, I'm in a group with a lot of white people, and I see them. They are begging to understand us because they were taught not to understand us. They were taught not to understand our hurt. They were taught not to understand our pain. Their moms and dads probably had slaves, but they didn't witness that. They're just going on what their parents said. So they want to understand. So if they're asking you to sit down with you and have that conversation and to help them because they want to do different, sometimes you have to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Even with me, when I was in the streets breaking the law, I had to unlearn that way of life and relearn a different way of life so that way I can be doing the things that I'm doing today. I was in the streets, and the way of thinking that I had to change it down to this something if people might think it's simple. People try to sell me hot stuff now. I won't buy it. Back then, yeah, give it to me. I had to make myself start feeling like that because I feel like if I do it, it will block my lesson, my blessings. So I had to unlearn and relearn. I just wanted to use that as an example, and I've been blessed tremendously since I've took on that new way of life. So I don't want to keep up y'all conversation. I'm gonna let y'all continue on. But as your mentor, I just wanted to give y'all my feedback. I try not to get into these conversations because I love for you guys to use your voice, and all of your voices are powerful and it's needed. And people need to hear how you guys are feeling due to this racism that's going on. And I'm gonna get back off, but that's all I wanted to say. And you all are doing an amazing, incredible job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Courtney. I'm sorry, Courtney.
Oh, but like I was saying, regardless of me saying that they need to relearn and not be, I mean, we'll sit down, whatever the conversation was about. My point was saying that as they get older, they're going to have to like figure that out on their own. Because even if we weren't here to even educate them, who would? But yeah.
I'm just gonna go Zion though, yeah, but I could see why Courtney and Angelia would say that, but if we're gonna be honest, most of the times when people are born into being taught this, it's not like it's not even just the fact that they're being taught this, it's also you have to consider the places they're living at. Most of the time when they're being taught this, there's probably no other Black people there, so they're just gonna have to go off of what other people are saying and what they're being taught. So by the time they actually see another Black person, they're just gonna believe everything they've been said. And at that point, it's not even like go Google search something and they'll like change their whatever they're thinking. It's like that's literally their entire life. So it might not be that simple, but I can see why you would say that.
And I want to say something due to like, even when the parents teach them to be racist, some kids, like this one time I seen a video of uh, a girl disagreeing with her parents about racism. Like she'd be like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Like sometimes some kids, like when they get to a certain age, they just go against their parents' word. Like when it comes to wrong and right. Like when it's right, they be like, okay, I'll listen to you. But when it's wrong, they be like, oh no, I'm not doing that because it's not right. And that's what I had to say.
Any other questions, Courtney?
That's all. We could close out. Thank y'all for watching. Thank them for watching, y'all.
I think it was one more
Thank
question.
y'all.
Name a good encounter that you had with a white person.
Can I go first? I'm gonna just go first. So I have a lot of good experiences with white people, and one I can like the one I'm just gonna talk about today is like a time I had. It's not long, but so at my old class, we've already graduated. This was in 8th grade, I think, and it's not a specific time, but it's just like so a lot of my a lot of my white classmates are like hardcore activists, and they believe in like equal rights for all people. So it's not like necessarily one encounter, but like a lot of encounters, and that probably inspired a lot of people in their communities to continue being an active.
I ain't heard what you said at the end, but I'll go next. My teacher, Yeah, cause my teacher, she kind of the same like how Kari was saying. That's why I said my teacher. But Lo, you can go.
Say the question again.
A good encounter that you had with a Caucasian.
Good encounter I had. Every every time every time I go to work, I got Caucasian coworkers and they pretty nice. So every time I go to work, I'll pick on the next person, whoever didn't go.
I'll go. So a good encounter I've had with a Caucasian person is for Leicester, Baltimore, formerly known as No One Left Them Help. They helped us get our vans
We
and
can't hear you, Davin. I'm sorry.
um the I've had like a nice encounter from a Caucasian person, like from Caucasian people. I don't just want to say person. They helped us get our van. Like they donated to Leicester Baltimore, formerly known as No One Left Them Help, and they gave us like money. Angela?
Well, I had a lot of great encounters that actually helped me. They actually helped me a lot of times. But if we're only naming one, I don't want to name anything too personal because I have my reasons. Um, I want to say fifth or sixth grade, and a lot of you guys on this call might get mad because of what these people said. But there was, I think it was fifth grade. There was people. I don't remember what the color of their skin was. I think, yeah, but um they would keep making fun of my hair because I always had my hair out. I never put my hair in box braids or slick back points. I would always keep them in puff balls like this. And they would call me names like nappy head or some silly name that would probably just like get on my nerves or make me cry. Like I don't know, it just made me hate my natural hair for like a long time until recently. Um, and this girl would always come. She'd always come to me, and she'll always be like, "Well, I think your hair was beautiful, and I think it's amazing. And if I had hair like yours, I would wear like this." Sort of like what Miss Lisa would tell me. So it makes me really happy when she says that. And she like this was before COVID. I was in fifth grade, but like she would always like touch my hair, and she would always be like, "Can I braid your hair?" And I don't know. It made me happy. It made me feel better about myself. So Demontez, did you go?
So I would say like because some people could choose to be racist or want to like just because of their reasons. But I would say like my previous math teacher helped me a lot. And sorry to hear about that in the past, Angela.
I'll go. Um, I've had good most of the Caucasian people that I've been around, we've been good with each other, but like because I don't show negative feelings to people, I might not like a person or I might not want to be around that person, but I don't show negative feelings towards you as I didn't grew up. I try to show positive vibes and because I don't have to be with you forever or with you forever, so why be rude to that person? That's My fault. I'll pass it on to Kari.
Alright,
I'll pass it on to Courtney.
I never had, well, actually I had, but like I have close friends that are Caucasian. But I never had a bad, well, actually I have had, it was like it's in the middle, bro. Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we heard you.
No, before that.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
all right, cool. That's it. Thank y'all for watching.
Thanks for joining.
Watching.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for